Hello everyone, this is Stuff, you're watching Stuff HD, and today I wanted to give you 5 reasons why your phone or computer may not actually have a virus. Now, before we get started, I did want to say that if I sound manlier than normal, that's because I'm just getting over a cold. Don't worry, my voice will be back to normal soon. Although sometimes I wish it wouldn't, I kind of like this deeper voice that sounds manlier. I'm always like, hey, I should go read a book and record it or something. Tonight is time for love. So when you're a geek like me, you end up getting a lot of people coming up to you with their devices saying, hey, it's got a virus. And more than 90% of the time, it doesn't actually have a virus. They just think that they have a virus. So that's why I wanted to make this video, so that hopefully it can give people an idea of what to look for, or more how to prevent getting a virus. So let's get started. As usual, I don't do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because I'm a rebel, damn it. Number 1. You click yes on everything. Every single box that came out when you were trying to install something, you say yes. Because I want this software, I want it now, so I'm just clicking yes on everything. You see, the problem with clicking yes on everything is the fact that a lot of software nowadays comes with extra software installed. And when you're just clicking yes, you're like, oh yeah, go ahead, put that on my computer. I go to people's homes and check on their computers, and the first thing I notice is their Internet Explorer or whatever web browser they use happens to have a whole bunch of toolbars on it. So many programs that people download, they come with that, and it's legal because technically they're asking you if they can put it on there, but nobody reads that stuff, so they just click yes, and that's how it ends up there. Not only that, but a lot of programs like I know whenever I install Skype, for example, it's always asking me, hey, do you want to make MSN your homepage? And do you want to make Internet Explorer your default web browser? No, I don't do that. I mean, no, I don't want that, but people usually just click yes. And then they're like, well, I don't know what happened. It just changed. No, it didn't just change. You allowed it. You guys really need to actually read what those things say. Another one that happens a lot is permissions on phones. Every time you download something on your phone, at least on Android, I know for a fact, they tell you of every permission that application needs. Número 2, you install some obscure software. What do I mean by that? I mean that you were probably cheap and you read that this software would do what you wanted it to do, and then you installed it because, hey, it's cheap. Well, cheap doesn't always mean good. Most of the time, free means shitty. Free means this is going to get you into trouble. Now, don't get me wrong. There is a lot of great free stuff out there. And I encourage people to find the free stuff that actually works. But you have to be careful because a lot of that free stuff is just not worth it. So, if the website you're getting it from doesn't look legit, just stay away from it. Number 3, and this one kind of goes along with number 2, poorly coded software. Going back to free software, a lot of the time, free equals cheap. And when I say cheap, I mean it was coded very poorly. And poorly coded software is probably one of the biggest issues on computers and phones. The program may very well do what it says it's going to do, but it may use a lot more resources than it really needs, or it may actually stay open when it really should be closed. Also, whenever there are updates to your operating system, and this happens a lot more on the phones, whenever you get an update, all of a sudden, program that used to work no longer works. And, I get this a lot. People are like, oh no, but it can't be that program because I've been using that program. Yeah, you were using that program in the old software and it probably worked fine. But now there's an update and this software hasn't been updated yet. So if the developer doesn't hurry up and update it, you need to stop using it because it's not functioning the way it should with the new operating system. So just like with number 2, if the program came from a place that's not very, very reputable, I would just stay away from it, really. And that's what I personally do on my phones, on my computers. You don't see a whole lot of like little games. Like games, those are the worst on phones. Like I just don't install games because so many of them are just resource hogs. You know, they take up all the resources, and then my phone doesn't work very well. Just because it's cheap, just because it's fun, does not mean it's good. There are usually plenty of great things from good developers, recognized developers, that work fine. And even with recognized developers, you have issues because the Facebook app hasn't really worked the way it should in forever. Number 4, you may simply just not be organized enough. Computers need to look for files. If your files are all over the place, it's going to slow down your computer, believe it or not. So you have to be organized. The more organized that you are, the better things are going to run in your computer. Other times, people just have like tons of music or tons of videos or tons of pictures, mostly on their phones. And, you know, there's like hardly any room for the computer to actually function, or phone. So, you know, it's good that you have all these pictures, but, you know, get into the habit of backing them up somewhere else so that they're not taking up room on your phone. You know, if the phone has to show 1 million pictures every time you open the gallery app, for example, it's going to take longer loading that app. Number 5, old equipment. Just like everything else, computers do slowly degrade. They get older, they parts no longer spin as fast as they used to. They just no longer work the way they used to. When your computer is going slower, then, you know, your hard drive may very well be dying. It may not be spinning as fast as it used to. Or components in your phone may very well just not be working the way they used to when you bought them. It just happened. So these are just 5 things to kind of keep in the back of your mind when you're dealing with anything on a computer or a phone. You know, again, like for the most part, stick to things that you know work, things that you know are reputable. You know, don't just go get any game just because it's free. You know, look at the permissions, look at the reviews. I don't usually download anything without looking at the reviews. If it has very few reviews, I stay the heck away from it because I don't want to be the guinea pig. If I see that it has a lot of really good reviews, then yeah, I usually go for it. If I really want it, I always try to remember that there's a better chance of somebody writing a bad review than there is a chance of somebody writing a good review. So if something has a lot of good reviews and a few bad ones, that means it's probably good. So yeah, just be smart. Go to the websites that you know are good websites. You know, if you found a website on like page 20 of your Google search, then that's probably not a website you want to be visiting. If the website looks like crap, you know, then it probably is crap and you probably shouldn't be in it. And more importantly than anything, read. I understand that there are certain things nobody reads, like the Apple Terms of Agreement. But when you get a little bot saying, hey, you want to do this? Don't just click yes. And I know it's like easy to just click yes. I do it all the time. But you really shouldn't. So hopefully you learned something on this video. If you did, please leave me a comment. If you didn't, then go ahead, leave me a comment. If you want to say thank you, or if you want to say F you, or if you want to say go ahead, leave a comment, subscribe, like, don't like, I don't know, whatever. Follow me on Twitter at RealStuffHD. I'm out. Y'all take care. Bye.